The AK-47 is often judged by standards it was never meant to meet. People compare it to precision rifles, modern assault weapons, or competition firearms, and conclude that it is crude, inaccurate, or outdated. But those judgments miss the core truth of the weapon. The AK-47 was not designed to impress on paper. It was designed to survive reality. Its form, function, and reputation are the result of one guiding idea. A weapon must work when everything around it is falling apart. War is not a controlled environment. It is disorder, exhaustion, fear, and failure happening all at once. Soldiers do not fight on clean battlefields or under ideal weather conditions. They fight in mud, dust, snow, rain, extreme heat, and smoke, often ranging from -30 degrees Celsius to over 45 degrees Celsius. Weapons are dropped, kicked, submerged in water, dragged across the ground, and fired thousands of rounds without proper cleaning. Supplies run out, maintenance stops, training becomes irrelevant. In those conditions, most weapons slowly stop functioning. The AK-47 was designed with this reality at the center of every decision. Mikhail Kalashnikov did not approach weapon design as an academic engineer. He was a wounded soldier who had listened to countless complaints from men on the front lines. During his recovery in 1941, he heard soldiers talk less about accuracy and more about reliability. Rifles jammed, submachine guns failed, weapons broke when they were needed most. Kalashnikov understood something many designers ignored. A weapon that fails once in combat might as well fail forever. His goal was not perfection. It was forgiveness. He assumed soldiers would be tired, frightened, injured, and poorly trained. He assumed they would neglect maintenance, misuse their equipment, and operate it in extreme conditions. Instead of trying to eliminate these problems, he designed a rifle that could survive them. At the heart of the AK-47's reliability is its operating system, the long-stroke gas piston. When a round is fired, expanding gases are vented from the barrel into a gas tube above it. These gases push a solid steel piston backward. This piston measures roughly 14 to 15 millimeters in diameter and is permanently connected to the bolt carrier, meaning the entire assembly, traveling nearly 200 millimeters, moves as one heavy unit. This movement unlocks the rotating bolt, extracts the spent cartridge, ejects it from the rifle, and chambers the next round. The system is powerful, aggressive, and intentionally overbuilt. It uses more energy than strictly necessary to cycle the action, and that excess force is the key to its reliability. In more finely tuned systems, friction increases of even a few percent from dirt, carbon buildup, weak ammunition, or cold temperatures can cause malfunctions. The AK-47 does not rely on balance or precision. It relies on force. Even when resistance increases, the bolt carrier, weighing over 500 grams, continues moving with authority. The rotating bolt reflects the same philosophy. It uses two large locking lugs, each several millimeters thick, that twist into place inside the barrel trunnion. These lugs are not delicately fitted as in precision rifles. They are strong, blunt, and tolerant of dirt and wear. Even when battered or fouled, they lock securely, containing chamber pressures exceeding 45,000 psi. The AK-47 does not demand perfect alignment. It demands enough alignment. A key element of the rifle is its loose internal tolerances. Many people assume these gaps are signs of poor manufacturing, but they were intentional. The parts inside the rifle are not tightly packed together. Clearances measuring tenths of a millimeter allow debris to exist without stopping the mechanism. Mud, sand, ice, and carbon buildup do not jam the rifle because the debris can move aside or be expelled as the rifle cycles. In tightly fitted rifles, dirt becomes an enemy. In the AK-47, dirt is only an inconvenience. The receiver of the AK-47 also reflects this philosophy. Early models used milled steel receivers machined from solid blocks weighing over 1.5 kilograms, which were strong but slow and expensive to produce. Later versions switched to stamped steel receivers made from 1.0 to 1.6 millimeter thick steel, simplifying production and allowing mass manufacturing across multiple factories. Despite this change, durability remained a priority. The receiver is thick and rigid, capable of absorbing impacts without cracking. It could bend slightly by several millimeters without catastrophic failure. The rifle was not lightweight or refined, but it was exceptionally tough. Controls were designed for reliability, not comfort. The safety selector is large and stiff, requiring deliberate force of over 4 kilograms to move, reducing accidental engagement, and it also acts as a dust cover, sealing the receiver from debris when engaged. The charging handle is oversized and directly attached to the bolt carrier, allowing it to be pulled with gloves, struck with the palm, or yanked aggressively without damage. The trigger is simple and robust, typically braking at 2.5 to 3.5 kilograms, with large springs and parts that resist breakage. Every control assumes the user may be cold, injured, or panicked, and it compensates accordingly. The magazine is another key element. AK magazines are heavy, curved, and overbuilt. The curve matches the natural taper of the 7.62 by 39 mm cartridge, which narrows by several millimeters from base to neck, ensuring smooth feeding. Standard magazines hold 30 rounds and are often made of steel over 1 millimeter thick. They can be dropped, dented, or abused and still function. The rock and lock system is slower than straight insertion but extremely secure, with retention forces exceeding several kilograms. Even damaged magazines often continue to feed reliably. The rifle does not demand careful handling to function. The cartridge itself was chosen for practicality. The 7.62 by 39 mm round, typically firing a 123 grain projectile at roughly 715 meters per second, provides enough energy to drive the rifle reliably while remaining controllable in automatic fire at 600 rounds per minute. It is designed to be effective at typical combat distances under 300 meters rather than extreme precision ranges. Accuracy was sacrificed, often averaging 3 to 4 MOA, to allow heavier components, stronger springs, and looser tolerances, all contributing to durability. The sights reflect the same philosophy. They are simple, rugged, and protected from damage. The rear sight is adjustable in 100-meter increments out to 800 meters, though real-world use favors much shorter distances. There are no delicate adjustments. The rifle assumes the user will aim quickly under stress, not carefully adjust elevation or windage. Maintenance and disassembly are similarly practical. The AK-47 can be field stripped in under 30 seconds without tools. There are fewer than a dozen major components and few small parts to lose. The rifle can continue functioning with minimal cleaning, and in many cases, it operates reliably even when maintenance is ignored for weeks or months. Heat is another critical factor. In sustained combat, barrels can exceed 400 degrees Celsius, lubricants burn off, and metal parts shift. Many rifles fail under these conditions as tolerances tighten. The AK-47's loose tolerances allow parts to expand without locking up. Heat may make the rifle louder or rougher, but it does not stop firing. The oversized gas system compensates for fouling and variations in ammunition, making it tolerant of inconsistent powder loads, weak rounds, or corrosive primers. Material choice reinforces resilience. Steel is used extensively, adding weight. The rifle weighs roughly 3.8 kilograms unloaded, but increasing durability. Springs are thick and strong, pins robust, and there are very few delicate parts. This simplicity allows manufacturing across different countries with varying industrial capacity. Parts can vary by fractions of a millimeter and still work, enabling mass production without sacrificing reliability. The AK-47 tolerates neglect. It will run dry, dirty, or rusted. While this accelerates wear, the rifle continues functioning far longer than most others would. Its simplicity reduces cognitive load. There are few controls and few ways to use it incorrectly. Gross movements are sufficient. Insert the magazine, pull the charging handle, disengage the safety, and fire. Under stress, simplicity is survival. Even when malfunctions occur, clearing them is straightforward. The powerful action often self-clears minor obstructions. If not, the oversized charging handle allows the user to force the action manually with significant leverage. There are no delicate procedures. This forgiveness explains why the rifle works well for inexperienced users and irregular forces. It adapts to poor habits, panic, or error, making it suitable for nearly any scenario. Over decades, this philosophy created a reputation that reinforced itself. Soldiers trusted the rifle because it worked. That trust allowed them to be less careful, and the rifle continued to function. Few weapons survive such treatment without constant failure. The AK-47 ages gracefully. Parts wear down, accuracy declines, recoil increases, and noise grows louder. But the rifle continues firing. Wear reduces performance. It does not cause complete failure. In many ways, the AK-47 behaves more like industrial machinery than a precision instrument. It is built to run continuously, imperfectly, and relentlessly. It does not demand ideal conditions. It endures bad ones. Modern rifles may be lighter, more accurate, and modular, but few can match the AK-47's tolerance for abuse. Few are as forgiving. Few reflect an understanding of war and human error like this rifle does. The AK-47 is not a masterpiece of elegance. It is a masterpiece of acceptance. It understands that soldiers are human, environments are hostile, and failure is unavoidable. It survives by embracing these truths, not by fighting them. This is the genius of its design, not perfection, not complexity, but endurance, reliability, and practical understanding. Long after more advanced rifles have been replaced or forgotten, the AK-47 remains. Still working, still firing, still surviving. When everything else fails, the AK-47 keeps going, proving that the simplest and most forgiving designs often have the greatest impact on history.